Hello everyone, it's Cookie here. So I wanted to start by saying I think I'm going to try to change the format of these videos. Usually I would just give a quick recap at the beginning. Well, I I don't know if a minute is quick. My recaps tend to be even longer than that, but still. And then just talking about what I like at the end or didn't like or whatever else I want to talk about, but I think I'm going to try to do it the way I was doing it before. But instead of having clips play out throughout the entire video, I'll use screenshots and throw a little more clips into the video. The reason I'm doing this is because, the last video didn't even have a clip until the end, and I only added it because I just realized that I hadn't included a clip at all, but I didn't know what to put. Plus, there are a lot of moments that I feel like are funny that I kind of want to show. But yeah, if these videos get blocked because of this, then I'm just going to go back to the old way of doing things. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. So the episode starts out with the bears waiting in line to get a ramen taco at a food truck place. I think it's cute how the bears make a bear stack while waiting in line. Also, I like how Panda just pulls out his phone to take a picture of this random guy's taco. I guess this is foreshadowing. So the bears get their ramen taco, but they are not impressed. The way Iceberg glares at this lady is funny to me. It's also funny how she doesn't even care. So the bears eat the taco, and unfortunately, they don't like it. Can I just say, this ramen taco sounds really gross to me? When I first watched this episode, I wasn't sure if the ramen was uncooked or not, just because you can hear a crunchy sound, but I guess maybe they cooked it and then froze it or something? I don't know. I know someone made a video making ramen tacos specifically because of this episode, so maybe I'll just check that out and see how they liked it, but to me, this whole idea just sounds weird and not very good. So the bears go to get a refund. I like how Grizz pushes this guy out of the way by pushing him in the face. The bears are so rude this episode. Anyways, they don't get a refund, so they go home and leave a negative review. Ice Bear makes the bears some calzones, they eat them, Panda's face makes me uncomfortable, and Grizz gets an idea that they should make their own food truck. So they do exactly that. I think Ice Bear literally builds their food truck, which is pretty impressive, but also typical for Ice Bear. Sadly, nobody wants to eat their calzones. I'm surprised not one person even wanted to try a free sample. Things are looking dour as most of the food trucks left, along with most of the people that were there. Wow, how often do we see Ice Bear get angry? And it's actually a genuine question. I don't remember.
Would you like to try a sample?
Let go of me!
Okay.
Jeez, what is it with the faces this episode? I feel like Grizz is really creepy here. Some money falls out of the back pocket of that guy that Grizz was shaking around, and a raccoon gets a hold of it and uses it to purchase a calzone. Word spreads around quickly amongst the animals. And now the bears have a huge line of customers. The bears make a lot of money, but the vendors start to get upset because the animals that they're selling food to are driving away the other customers. Things are starting to get out of hand, and the animals start taking the bears' food. The animals start wrecking everything around them, eating whatever food they can find and destroying the food trucks. I love this fox and squirrel trying to tip over the food truck. It looks like this rabbit drank some coffee, and it doesn't look like it's handling it well. The bears and the other vendors end up on the roofs of some food trucks. The bears apologize, and when Panda takes a picture of their last moments together, Grizz gets an idea. He takes Panda's phone and uses the flash to blind the animals so they can make their escape. The vendors manage to escape, but the bears find themselves surrounded by all the animals. Panda's phone is about to die, and Grizz gets really desperate, so he throws the phone at the animals. The phone ends up hitting a skunk. The skunk causes a stink explosion, which drives the other animals away. The bears cover themselves in tomato juice, and they get fined for all the trouble they caused. And so ends Food Truck. This was an okay episode. It's more along the lines of the first episode with bear antics and random shenanigans. I'm not really sure how I feel about this episode, though. It's not particularly funny to me, but it was okay. It's not like it was bad. I thought there were a lot of weird faces in this episode, which was pretty interesting. One thing that We Bare Bears does that I feel like a lot of Cartoon Network shows do that I never really thought about much before, but episodes don't really have any kind of moral or lesson. I guess you could say the lesson here is don't feed the animals. It feels like Cartoon Network shows sometimes just have a weird resolution. Like this episode just ended with the bears getting fined. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily, I just think it's interesting. The other two episodes were kind of like this too. I don't know what it is about this episode though, but for some reason I remember it really well. Or at least it's one of the episodes of We Bare Bears that always pops into my head when I think of We Bare Bears. I don't know how to explain it, but basically it's an episode that I'll never forget, and I don't know why. It's not like this episode does anything particularly interesting. It's just I don't know, it's just something I always remember. Like, I'll put it this way, I remember this episode more than I remember viral video, even though I kind of like viral video more. It's weird. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. Next up is Chloe. See you then.